Well, hello, hello, hello. Let's see if you can hear me. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing the live stream, man. I know, but I need to go to the room. I've got my stuff. All my stuff is here, man. How am I gonna leave? Huh? Huh? Everyone can hear you. The World Wide Web. Gary, you're a famous model, so it's okay. Right, okay, now the young lady has left. Good afternoon, or good morning, or whatever, wherever you are. Right, we got a proper mic time around, so you should easily hear me. Okay. Now, in case some of you were waiting for this yesterday, I actually did it, but not here. It was I was being hosted at a friend's Twitch channel. We were trying out his channel for the first time, and as such, we were there. We were there instead of here in this channel as usual. So, in case you were waiting for it to come, this stream to come, I apologize if you were waiting or connected to this channel at 5 p.m. Greenwich Medium Time yesterday, or wherever the time was in your time zone. But unfortunately, we weren't actually here, but we still did not miss it. We did it. And for future reference, there will be ongoing streams of these 100 Days of Comics, both here and on my Twitch channel or other Twitch channel, as the case is. Okay. Okay, so once again, just for anyone starting to follow these 100 Days of Comics, the idea here is to do 2 issues of my comic Chromosome 96. And in order to finish this book, which is a total of 5 issues, I have 52 more pages to go. Now, 52 pages in principle, because actually there's a few more that might be added to the final issue. It's something that we have planned and for a long time discussed, is to do a fold out, which probably will be 9 pages wide. It will fold out like a map, well, like you fold a map, so it'll be like that, which will make the book much thicker than what is originally intended to be. That obviously elicits a lot of problems, a lot of technical aspects that need to be solved at the printing stage, so at the final stage, really. If that is workable, and we've been talking about this for some time, and we've been trying to figure it out a way that is both cost effective and technically possible, then we'll have a hell of a mural, a huge poster, which is really a big fight that will, as I explained, fold out from the actual book. Also has to work in the actual context of the book itself. it has to make sense that obviously there will be a back to those pages as well. So that's the other problem. That has to be considered because as you have the actual this is as an exemplification here for anyone not quite understanding. If you have like if you have out like it'd be like this and that and so on and so forth. So it'll be about 9 pages worth that would open up like when you open a map. Yes, I use the map as an example. And obviously there will be a back to those pages as well. Now, in order for not to have a back blank page, I wanted to have something on it. So technically, those 9 pages, that is the fold out, would have a front and a back. Okay, so then that's not just 9 pages. Now we're talking about 18 pages altogether. And obviously, it has to be an integral part of the actual story, of the actual sequential art. So those 9 pages at the front have to show something like a big picture, but then you would need a back as well. So it would probably be a second picture that would directly connect to the front. That's a big challenge, not just for the amount of work that you will give, but that's not the big problem. That's not the main problem. Although again, it will just add another 18 pages of work to the 52. But it will also be a challenge on the printing size to be able to make that work. And there has been books in the past that have done that, but not many. It's kind of a laborious thing to go around it. So without thinking about that right now, we just have 52 pages to go through. So these 52 pages are in the different stages of pencils. Some of them already have a few details, already started working on detailing the backgrounds and all that stuff. Some other ones are still on the layout stage. So today I'm going to focus on 2 pages of issue 5, so the final issue. And anyone listening to this live stream or after that, watching it as a replay, could just post in the chat if you have a chance, or on the comments, any opinion that might have about this. So if you're watching it live right now, it would be great. You can jump on and we can discuss it. My idea is that the plot is that at this stage of issue 5, which is the opening, is the first 5-6 pages. This is actually page 6 and this is page 7. So as it is here, as it is planned, one of the main characters, which is a villain, which is a virus that has mutated and become human size, he has been transported into a microscopic world. And I have 2 pages here. The first one is a page where you have to give a certain you have to convey the idea that is being shrinked to microscopic size, a full complete page, and then we have a follow-up page where sort of pictures that don't necessarily make much sense, so kind of slightly abstract idea or an abstract concept of what you might find as you go down into the microscopic world will follow one after another until the actual creature, the actual monster, is resting at the lowest level, at the bottom of that microscopic world. So he's basically found a ground, so to speak, where he can actually settle. So one picture has to be like a further reduction of the first picture. So this is one segment with one idea of something at the microscopic level, and then the second one will be a zoom in on that, and then a third one, a third zoom in I always love macro photography, and for you trying to visualize what the concept here is, I'll just use a couple of references, both from movies. One is 2001, obviously the portal, star portal, whatever was the astronaut David Bowman goes into the monolith at the end of 2001. So he goes through this field of stars, which then becomes kind of a light speed color thing, and then eventually there's a landscape until he actually gets further closer to the ground. So that's part of the idea. And actually, Ant-Man beat me to it because the Ant-Man movie has him going into this microscopic universe as he becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, and he passes through all these weird objects and all these crystals and ideas of microscopic environments and microscopic units. So it's a bit of both. On this page here, which is the creature in the middle, as he goes through the actual zooming out or in, whatever you prefer. This is where that 2001 reference comes into play because I want to make kind of a warp kind of thing. Um, Vertigo poster, for example, the Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo poster with the iris kind of twisting around. That's also a reference I have in my mind to be used on this page. So just you guys just hold on here for a second. I'm just going to send the link of the stream, and I'll be right back, and then we can start working on this. Right, sorry for the delay. Right, okay. There we go. In an attempt to make these streams a little bit easier, I have to set up this thing here, which is not the easiest setup. Sorry about this. At the moment, the office is very tight. And sorry if I knock the camera once or twice. Okay, so I'm not really sure how to go about this one. If I just grab out of some paper. So if we have, let's say, you can have a good look at this maybe. All right. So if we have this here, so then the idea would be to have figure here in the middle, kind of a little man, which is actually quite big when he's in the real world, but in the microscopic world he's diminishing in size. So as he's here, okay, so 2001 and vertigo. Those are the references, right? Let's work here on this. So each page on the book is really a puzzle that has to be deciphered and pieced together. So the idea is that in vertigo, I don't have a poster of vertigo here, but you got the logo of vertigo. Kind of the logo is really Saul Bass, isn't it? Saul Bass is the guy that is the designer that used to do these things. So you get like an iris, right? And it's a concept I always liked very much, and that's why I want to use these ideas and try to give them a little homage, also kind of retroactively creating something new. So you got the iris in vertigo, and it kind of moves like this, isn't it? Something like that. It's an iris. Is more like a Vasarely kind of geometrical fusion. So it goes like this. It's like a spider, and kind of keeps on rotating. Soul Bass does that throughout vertigo. So you got that, and then you got as a second option, or maybe try to conciliate both. You have the Stargate in 2001. So Stargate really is that's Douglas Trumbull. That does the design of that, the computer animation. And what you really have is a line in the middle. Sorry, I'm going to have to use this piece of paper. That's all I got here. And then you got these things like driving out from the center, right? So I want to use these two things, marry the two of them together, and put them here. And what I want to do is like, this will be a series of panels, right? So one in the center where the guy is there falling, and then the other panel will be more like this. So the panels kind of tilt against each other, like they would be mimicking the idea of falling down through space. Now we don't need to repeat the picture in the center, the man in the center, the figure in the center. That will be just one figure once. What I wanted to do is that each one of these panels would have their own aesthetics. So maybe this one here would be like, partially would be the Soul Bass kind of eye of vertigo, and then another one here would be the Stargate, I don't know how many panels I should do. I don't know how many panels I should repeat, overlap. I don't know what would be the background. I'm more thinking that what I've done here already is putting this here to the side for now. What I've done here already is a central panel right here. It's right here at the center, yeah. And I don't even want to have this that central. I wanted to have it more tilted. So I have this one like this, so you can see a bit better. And I have this one like that. Right, and then I have a further one here. Right, and then I have another one here, kind of actually coming out of the page already. Way here. All the way here, can you see it? Right. Now each one of these panels is supposed to be the same size as the previous one, but not exactly. I didn't want to do something that was exactly symmetrical. I want to do something which is a bit more loose. Maybe having this one a bit more. The perspective of this final one to be more. Ideally, I would cut out a series of A3 pages and then just do cutouts and then just overlap them to see which one works better instead of doing this one by hand. So this is not what I want. This is not the exact idea I have in my mind. I have something else in my mind. So when you get stuck on a page and you just like when you're composing some music and you're going at it and you can't really get anywhere, you just give yourself a break. Give yourself a break and you go move on to another different page. Oh, coffee. Yes, you might hear me sipping. Okay. So if the concept is to have the guy here in the middle, I might just move all these panels the other way. That's what I would be more comfortable with. So this one would actually be tilted this way, and then the next one be tilted this way, and so on and so forth. And this is too wide. This further out panel is too wide. It's not really giving me what I want. So you know what? I'm just gonna erase all this, to be honest. Let's start again. So I want you guys to get a little bit more meat. So I should really have the layout already done, which I have for most of the pages, I'll confess, and then just start actually working on filling it in step by step. But I'm not thinking this works. But this is the sort of page where we definitely have to do the panels first. We need to know where to start and where to stop before starting to filling it in and doing any adding any elements to the page. We really need to know where we're going, because the idea is that there's a series of layers that kind of work in unison. as another good reference from TV series Buck Rogers in the 25th century. And at the end, there's also this kind of a camera shutter, an iris that keeps on spinning, and there's a zooming, kind of these rings, these circles that are getting closer to the camera as the camera kind of zooming in. Is a counter zoom that again Hitchcock uses so brilliantly, and we all love it. And that's the idea. And in Buck Rogers is each segment of picture that is inserted inside each one of those rings is an age, a time period of the Earth as the Earth grows older, as Buck Rogers advances through the years. Those 500 years he's in hibernation before waking up, before the story actually starting. And that's basically what I want. That's what I want to do. So let's so if we have the figure here in the center, and that's the first objective here, we have to define how large is he going to be. So let's just give it a little bit of a body here, right? Let's give we have the waist there. I don't really know how he should be looking as he goes through the inner space. Let's say he's like this, right? I want him kind of this convoluted, like a little bit lost in space and time, So if he's like this, and he kind of his legs and stuff, they kind of can pop out of the panels, of the panel where he's at. So if you have him here, and everything is supposed to work against it, like a mirror facing another mirror, So you have him here, and you have the panel where he belongs. That's his little space here. You got him like this. So he doesn't want to fit in the panel. It's almost like coming out of the panel. I don't want it to look too much like a coffin. I don't want it to look like he belongs to the panel. I just want it like he's going through a door. Like he's going through a some sort of window. But then again, I don't want that too much. I don't want that to be too obvious. He has to belong to a panel. It's just that he doesn't need to be comfortably sitting inside completely. But neither I want him to be too out. So if you have him like this, and this really has to be in the center, isn't it? It's not in the center. It's too high, isn't it? All right. So let's just reduce the size of the panel here, and add a bit more here at the bottom. This makes the panel too small. Right, so maybe let's move this out of the way. Let me see the decisions. I have a different kind of rubber by Faber-Castell as well, which is wonderful because it does not leave any residue. but it's very expensive rubber, and it's also green, and it tends to, believe it or not, stain the pages a little bit. All this residue goes up my nose. So you have this is the center of the page, really. You have the guy here. See his head. So if that's his head, and let's make him like this. Like this. Plant of his feet will be like this. Okay, so if you have it like this, and it's pretty not proportional at all, his insert panel would be, gotta widen up his field of view, basically. So his insert panel should be something like here, like this, and like that. Again, it does not need to be, I want it to be straight. I want it to be like he's losing his senses, going down this rabbit hole, basically. Let's see if this works. Clean up this bit here, clean up this bit. And which line am I going to? I'm going to go for this one here. So we got this here. I'll lower this bit here even more, like that. Okay, and I'm gonna make this one wider here, where his foot drops out. I got both angles working this way, while the other one. Okay, so okay, so that'll be that. Okay, so the next panel would be in cross reference to this one, so something like this, much wider, encompassing the background of the other one, like this, maybe. I need to work against each other and in favor of each other at the same time. So maybe something like this. So let's clean up here, here, and here. This one. Is that the second line I did? I remember. Yes, I think it will be something here. So you have the man falling down. I'm just trying to clean up the lines I definitely don't want, while retaining the ones I do. So that would be another door like that. And then a third one would be, so as he goes through these things, they become bigger. The third one would be, again, would be bigger, wider, probably here, this, like that. Okay, this works. So it's all about angles. I don't want the angles to repeat themselves. So this one here is definitely shrinking to the bottom. This one is pretty much almost the same on all fours, but it's slightly tilted on a few sides. Okay, so this one is shrinking. If it's shrinking, just clean up a bit. Oops. Our rubber is finished. So that one is shrinking. The other one is widening the bottom. So it shrinks at the top, widens the bottom. It doesn't need, sorry, it doesn't need to be straight either. All right, now we have a lot more of the life spice at the top being used, not much here. So let's try and move this now this way. So let's make it grow a little bit. Okay, I don't want this neither here or there. One is too wide, the other one is not wide enough. So let's just do it like this. Pretty soon you'll see what I'm trying to do. Right now it's quite messy. It doesn't show or means anything, but pretty soon you'll see what I'm trying to do. And a third one completely overlapping everything else. This one, okay, this one will go all the way down here. This will be about here. And if you would go down here, be maybe crossing here at the top, something like that. Cool. Right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and an elusive fifth going at the back. Just not sure if this is enough, or I want to make more. Not even sure if that's the actual concept that I want. So, well, now what details do I? What do I start doing with the Stargate? So again, the picture on one cannot be the picture on the other one. So how am I going to do this? So just for the sake of it, that he's having this kind of falling kind of thing, and then here we would have kind of like an iris effect. I'm gonna have to have a look at that vertical poster because we're not really cracking it at the moment. And we're gonna have to get much more faster if we're to do these 52 pages in 100 days. 97 now left after this one. No, 98. Yeah, 97 after this one. That could probably work, yes, like the Stargate kind of thing, and then the iris. And then here at the third level of hell, you would probably be looking at I know, some crystals and things like that, like microscopic interferences. Work could be a bit shabby, could be a little bit too. Here, again, I'll put something like circular concept. Be like this, it could work. Maybe it could work. I don't want this to be too distant from that in terms of duplicating a reference, and I also don't want it to be too repeated either. We definitely should have the Stargate again in the background, because I think that encapsulates the concept that is flying through space and going somewhere, basically. So I think we need those evaporating lines again. I think I need something else here as well. Some waves. Everything has to be built around motion, circular waves, and again, I'm thinking of tilting this even more. This is the thing. I want this tilted like this. It's it's kind of like he's being dropped from great height, and he's going through these windows, you know. And like that, I can even, these kind of motions, they don't need to be inside the panels necessarily. They don't need to be stuck inside panels. They can kind of come out a little bit, especially the one he's in, because that really helps the idea that he's being thrown down, going down. When you get kamikaze on the page, that's when the page actually leaves, you know. So go nuts on the page, you know. Make this. Don't limit yourself inside the panels, you know. Just pull it out, go out. So these lines here, I think it could work both as a concept of as a speed line, as a concept that is being going down, is being pushed down. Although I'm not going to overlap him with these lines. They definitely belong to a background, the background of this panel. But at the same time, it helps. It helps the concept that is being that is going moving through space. Yeah, and then the eye, like whatever you want to call it, the iris. I think they really should take. Yeah, you gotta extend this. It reminds me a bit of the Roger Corman stuff he used to do for the Edgar Allan Poe movies. In the title, in the credits, and also in a lot of the iconography. It's a nightmarish iconography, basically. You know, it's like it's supposed to make you insecure while looking at this. It's supposed to make the picture kind of disturb you a little bit. You know, make you a bit dizzy. I know I'm not gonna. I know I'm not Jim Steranko. I'm not gonna be able to do that, but at least a bit of that. Maybe that's what I need. I need to grab some of the old Shield comics, because Jim Steranko loves his optic illusions. I think that's mainly what we need here is an optic illusion. Yeah, I think this is coming along. Yeah, this is what I want. I want each panel fighting against each other. They don't need to be. They don't really need to be exactly the same, you know. So maybe this one already could come out of the page. That's a cutoff line there, so maybe I can make this one go wider. Bit here. So, again, this is not a precise science, but if we do like this, it gives a bit more room for the pictures. Problem is this third panel, the third door. Where do I want it to go? Do I want to show this? I want to limit it. So if this were to go here, popping out of the page, probably come in more like here. Okay. Now what am I showing here of the background? Showing this, which in turn ends here. So this one here needs to be more this. Bring it in closer, almost touching this one parallel there, and then you just bring it here. So you go here, there's a point here, and there. Yeah, it's easy to define this perspective because none of these lines are supposed to. Which one was it? This one or that one? I can't remember which one I did first. All right, I'm gonna have another think about it, and I think tomorrow these will actually be ready, and I'm gonna have the right elements already in place, and I can start cracking at it. Yes, I will. And then, if tomorrow we have a couple of good hours, nice stream, long stream, I can then probably also put this in here, which is this one is that one, this one is that one. It's the three panels on this page here. So yeah. All right, leave it with me, guys. Sorry, it's a bit short today, but tomorrow we'll be able to crack on this. Okay, have a good one, guys, and see you tomorrow at around this time. An hour earlier, sorry. Bye bye.